Welcome to Unschool, where we undoctrinate you from public school nonsense. It says fear is the mind killer. War and the existential fear of death. He's talking at the Mises Institute. If you haven't ever read Ludwig von Mises, I'd highly recommend it. It's good stuff. You'll far better understand economics. Learning a bit of Austrian as well as monetarist economics will certainly help you understand the world a little bit better off. It says here, economics is at the center of it all. Now I find that economics is what is driving politics. Now I find that it is the markets that are defining the New World Order. It is defining what political reality is. It is defining what the acceptable range of politics is. Essentially, it is the Overton window. And for those who don't know, should we look this up? The Overton window? Let me just Google that. The Overton window is the range of policies politically acceptable to the mainstream population at a given time. Okay, and then here from the Mises Institute, he has a little bit to say.
It's becoming expert in a domain that I am absolutely a neophyte in. I'm just starting to learn about the underpinnings of the logic of Rothbard, Mises, and economics in general. I never took an economics course during my undergraduate or graduate training. I was too busy in the world of molecular this and that. And now I find that in my journey to try to comprehend what transpired during the COVID crisis, that economics is the center of it all. Now I find that economics is what's driving politics. Now I find that it's the markets, it's Mr. Market, that is defining the New World Order. It's defining what political reality is. It's defining what is acceptable, the acceptable range of politics. Essentially, the Overton window, if you're familiar with that. Politics is being defined economically. And clearly, I need to come up to speed. So this lecture gave me an opportunity to try to start to think through the kind of simplistic understanding that I had about libertarianism coming from my experience when I was about your age, of burning through all the Ayn Rand books. And by the way, hence the origin of the name of our Substack, who is Robert Malone, is a nod to Who's John Galt, in case you didn't figure that out. So as I started to
all right, it says here, psychological bioterrorism is the use of fear about a disease to manipulate individuals or populations by governments and other organizations such as Big Pharma. Although the fear of infectious disease is an obvious example, it's not the only way that psychological bioterrorism is used. Other examples include propaganda regarding environmental toxins, unsafe drinking water, soil contamination, climate change risk, etc. Another name for psychological bioterrorism is information. And by the way, I'll probably get, I don't know, this video taken down for mentioning the T word, but anyways, what you have just been subjected to over the last 4 years absolutely aligns with well-known processes for manipulating your existential fear of death. It is the most powerful emotion, the fear of death. Who read Dune? Remember, fear is the mind killer. Fear is extremely powerful. Existential fear can be easily manipulated to get you to do almost anything, and the intelligence community knows this. They build these capabilities over decades, and they've refined them to a fine art. As I said, there's a series of well-defined steps that are used in deploying this, and I'm just going to tell you a little anecdote. The other day, I was on X Spaces, Twitter Spaces, with a bunch of folks that have come through the crisis, come through the events associated with the International Health Organization and the WHO and all of that kind of stuff, and they wanted to talk about flu. And what blew my mind is they were completely unaware that they had assimilated all the fear narrative that is being so actively promoted in the media right now about bird flu, and they were regurgitating it to me. Oh my God, this is going to happen again. They're going to use this to manipulate the elections. Yeah, that's definitely the plan. People do that all the time now. You notice it when you get off of mainstream media, that people just recite back to you things that the mainstream media told them to say.